Mr. Toastmaster. I retrieved a letter the other day, now don't ask me how, that was titled, Pieces of Advice to be Passed On to the Female Population. Apparently, it was sent from one woman to another using a rather complex system, that of emails. And so I knew I had to do what any noble man would do in my position. I had to share this with you tonight and comment on each piece of advice. There are 15 in total, by the way, but don't worry, I'll be quick. But commenting from a man's perspective, in our defense. So I'm not expecting to receive any votes from our dearest female Toastmasters tonight, but I do hope, however, that they will take this lightly, as the point is to entertain and, of course, to break even. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, my volunteer here, my assistant, Mario, will help us by starting with the first advice that read as follows in the email. Advice number 1, what do you do when your boyfriend walks out? You shut the door. Well, our beloved ladies, how about next time you try and treat him a little bit nicer, so that maybe, just maybe, he will not have to escort himself out. Advice number 2, moving on. Go for younger men. You may as well do that, as they never mature anyway. Whereas you women happen to be the embodiment, the personification of maturity. Hence why the founder of psychoanalysis, Sigmund Freud, could not answer his own question, what does a woman want? Advice number 3, never let a man's mind wander. It's too little to be out alone. Well, at least we've got one. Advice number 4. If they put a man on the moon, they should be able to put them all up there. See what I mean? Well, if you promise that there will be no Wi-Fi, but plenty of Wi-Fi, then send us yesterday, right? Advice number 5. Men are all the same. They just have different faces so that you can tell them apart. Okay, well, since this is kind of an under the belt here, and to fall down to your level, women have different personalities and different character so that we can tell you apart. Advice number 6. A definition of a bachelor. A man who has missed the opportunity of making some woman miserable. The real definition of a bachelor, of course, is one hell of a clever man. Advice number 7. I have security, it's right there behind. Women don't make fools of men. Most of them are the do-it-yourself type. I guess we're used to the DIY stuff that we perform at home. You know, from the garden chores to those performed in the bedroom. You know, when you women get your so-called headaches. Luckily for us, there is a reliable friend down there. Advice number 9. I know I'm very bad tonight, but number 9 is it? Number 8. If you want a man to do something, just tell him that he's too old for it. However, what women don't know is that the only reason we agree to play along is because we know that we will cash in that favor later. You see, one chore means one night without your headaches. Now I see a lot of men here secretly nodding, but of course since this is Friday night and they wouldn't want to risk not getting some just because of some stupid speech like mine, they remain quiet. Advice number 9. They say that love is blind. However, marriage is a real eye-opener. Or a real eye-closer, since it is a man's death sentence. You should ask some of us. Number 10. Right, if you want a committed man, then you should look up in a mental hospital. True that, actually, I will agree to that, because only if a guy is completely mental will he choose to have pizza every day for the rest of his life. I mean, At some point, he'd want to try something else, like Chinese or Thai, let's say, right? Advice number 11, don't worry, we're getting there. If a man asks you what sort of books you're interested in, tell him checkbooks. Wow, and then they say that us men are shallow. Advice number 12. Remember, a sense of humor does not mean that you tell him jokes. It means that you laugh at his. Well, I'm sure that if a man like Mr. Bean was right here, he could make any woman laugh, without even opening his mouth. So I rest my case. Advice number 13. Oh, Dennis the Menace, SpongeBob SquarePants, right? Oh my God. Advice number 13. Even the children of Israel wander about the desert for 40 years. So imagine, even in biblical times, men wouldn't stop and ask for directions. Well, actually, in our defense, once again, you can tell that even our ancestors, my fellow Homo sapiens, they rather wander for decades than having to go back to their wives. Advice number 14. Don't be mistaken, you cannot change a man unless he is in diapers. Of course, hallelujah here, because the only time you can change us is indeed until we're up to 6 months old. Lastly now, advice number 15. Sadly, all men are created equal. However, since this is my last point, and that, I do value my life, I wouldn't want some women retaliating against me, I will leave it up to here. In any case, Will Rogers sums it up best. There are two theories to arguing with a woman. Neither works. Mr. Toastmaster.